this month is all about the rotator cuff. And we know that sometimes when we have issues with our muscles, other muscles try to take over and do the job for those weak muscles or injured muscles. That's called synergistic dominance, and it happens a lot with rotator cuff injuries. So today we're going to gently stretch out the rotator cuff muscles, or maybe the muscles that are trying to dominate those actions instead. So I've got a strap, and I'm going to lay it down and step on both ends of it. So I have a loop here. We're going to work on abducting and then stretching. So we're going to activate those abductors, and then we're going to stretch them, because sometimes when we activate a muscle first, especially if it's really, really tight, we get a better result when we do stretch it. So we're going to bring the arm out. Now, you could bring this as close to the body as you want to. I mean, you could even do it like this with the other hand, depending on how far you can comfortably abduct your arm. Again, if you have severe issues, please seek proper medical care. So we're going to bring our arm out. We can kind of bring our other side, kind of a mountain position, and we're just going to abduct. Now we want to make sure that we're using the shoulder muscles, not the wrist muscles with this. That's one thing I will caution. It's easy to use the wrong muscles, so make sure, if I focus, I can use the right muscles. So make sure that you're doing that. So we're just going to engage it and hold it for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to let that fall, and we're going to bring our arm across our body and pull it. So if you are tight, you'll feel it. If you're not very tight, you might not feel it, and that's okay. So we kind of press the shoulder blade down gently as much as we can. And this hand is just relaxed. And then we're going to open. So we're going to do it on the other side. Now this time, we're going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to bring it onto my upper arm. And this side is going to be the resistance. So I'm going to tense it. You just have to be kind of careful. I like the foot because the angle I feel like is better. But if you tend to use the wrong, muscles and you're using your wrist instead, then you could always do a different version like this, or you could put the strap behind you. So we're going to tense. 1, 2, 3. So we've activated those muscles. Then we're going to drop the strap and pull it across. And I find you get a better stretch when you activate the muscles first, which often is what we do in yoga. But if someone is struggling with range of motion, sometimes that can be a little bit of a challenge. So it's nice to give them some options for really warming up specific muscle groups first. I'm going to go ahead and grab our strap again, and we're going to come into medial rotation, because we know that the rotator cuff does both medial and lateral rotation. So I've got the strap behind me. I'm going to grab it this way, and I'm just going to go into as much medial rotation. You can see my shoulders are turning in, and if we want to add a little bit more than, say, we're just here, that's okay too. We could even do one side at a time, because no one sides are identical here. Or if we want to add a little bit more of a challenge, a little bit more resistance, maybe a little more activation, we can pull this strap a little bit and rotate. We're going to do the same thing for lateral rotation. So we can bring it behind our head, as far out as is comfortable. Oftentimes you will find that if someone has a rotator cuff issue, they will have, depends on the person and depends on where they're at, but they may have a significant difference in their rotational or abduction abilities on either side. It will vary. So we just pull, and the strap just gives us almost, I feel like, more stability to really engage those muscles in, instead of just holding them in the air.